Ah! What's up, everyone? Flawless intro. My name is Toy Father. This is Toy Talk. Welcome, everyone. How y'all doing? It's Monday. It's February 13th, the day before all of our favorite holidays, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Josh, I know you love it. I know you love Valentine's Day. That look on your face.
Fuck, I forgot.
This is the
I have
face
jury
of
duty
romance
tomorrow.
right there.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
that's
I
the
won't enjoy
opposite
that.
of that day celebration.
It is the
You
opposite.
get to judge someone instead of showing some love.
I'm just gonna be over there like,
Well, welcome everyone. We're really excited here to be on Toy Talk. It's Monday, and guess what? Mondays are great because you're here with us. So one of the things is let's introduce everyone in our Toy Talk community. We got Cox Create. How you doing, buddy?
good.
Yeah,
Good.
you're doing something different with your hair. I like it.
I like it. Slick. Less
Yeah.
slick now.
Well, now I've decided to grow all of it out this long. So,
All of it that long, even the sides.
yeah.
Nice. All
Okay.
right. We'll see it. I feel like everything grew really fast for you.
It does. My hair grows extremely
Like even the
fast.
beard, yeah, everything. And
Oh, it's
I
that
just saw
mountain
you.
air. Everything grows.
I just saw you last week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Every Monday.
All right.
Every Monday is a beard that long. He just shaves it off after the show. Grows back.
Mhm.
It's like a Tim Allen Santa Claus issue for
Yeah.
him.
We got No Chewing. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, indeed. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I'm powering through, and I think we're gonna have a great show today. We got Toy Addict Danny eating his ice cream. Is that a drumstick?
It is.
I love drumsticks.
At least it was almost but whatever.
I do love a good drumstick.
I like going to Trader Joe's. They make those mini
Yes.
drumsticks,
Yep.
Mhm.
and then you get to eat like 7 of them.
Yes.
You feel like a giant at
I feel
buffet.
like, yep. Do they have different flavors, or is that one always like the chocolate one?
No, they have a ton of different flavors. They have
Right.
a mint one. They have
Oh, it's the
a
mint
chocolate
one.
chip one, a chocolate on chocolate.
We got Blitzfix shouting you out, buddy.
Shout out to Danny's ice cream.
Well, let's see who's in the chat. We had Blitzfigs. We had Too Much New Toys.
Mm.
We got Jimmy Pop. How you doing, buddy? And we got what is he on IG?
Is he under the Raven Eyes Studio?
Yeah.
Is it Raven Eye Studio? Oh, okay. I thought he was like Donald. I remember Josh calling him Donald Glover, but it wasn't him. But
No, his real name is Raven Eyes Studio. His IG handle is Donald.
it's Donald. There you
it's
go.
really-
His birth name is Raven Eye Studios 21.
Yeah. Yeah, his last name's Studios 21.
Guys, how's it going? Did you guys were you up watching the Super Bowl last night?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch any of it. I didn't care enough. I'm sorry.
It was a good game.
I didn't even rewatch Rihanna. Like normally I do that. I just
That was meh.
Dude,
What?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I thought the
circle back.
halftime show was meh.
That woman does stuff to me every time I watch her on live.
You can't do that while you lick an ice cream cone, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. It's not that type of show. Cool it. I don't know if you click the button that says not for kids.
Yeah, if you're 13 and under, don't watch this show. No, but she's her performance all right. It was nice to see her.
Yeah,
No.
it was just a meh, I would say. She is an amazing singer, no doubt.
Mhm.
I just wanted more out of a halftime show, I guess.
I wanted the Black Panther song. I didn't get that.
Yeah. Why
I
didn't
wanted the
she?
Black-
She
Oh,
should have
yeah,
started
that's
with
right.
that. She should have started with that, right?
I watched
thought-
that over the weekend.
I wanted her to
Kind of
end the
forever.
performance with that song.
Oh,
But
no,
whatever.
no. That diamond song. Let's get end with the
I wanted
diamonds.
to hear her do Shy Ronnie.
Shy Ronnie's a good skit. Have you guys seen Shy Ronnie?
That's the SNL thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Shy Ronnie Rihanna. You watched Black Panther 2?
Yeah. I watched it over the weekend on Disney Plus.
What did you guys? Okay, what do you think?
Stink fest.
Well, now I understand why Danny does this. Suzuki.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's exactly like that. It's like there's no like it's not emphasized or it's not like it's like
Because it's
like
in the
everyone
water.
does
it
it a
has
little
to
bit
be a
different.
smooth.
Hey, Josh, you're doing a good job. Go ahead, do it again.
What is it?
Say Suzuki after.
Yeah,
Though.
that's good.
That's it.
What did you think? No chewing.
I liked a lot of the elements. The story was fine for me, but the pacing was meh.
Bad.
The pacing was off for me.
I think they had a really difficult time rewriting the script without Chadwick Boseman. I think that was the problem.
I think it could have been about 45 minutes shorter.
I think if Chadwick Boseman was in it, there would have been a lot more parts that made more sense. So
I really enjoyed the beginning though.
Beginning was great.
I think I have an issue with heavy CGI in daylight.
Yeah.
You know, like
the CGI was
Ironheart
bad.
and the Midnight Angels would look better if that battle was at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the Night Angels, I really enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed Namor for the most part.
He was great.
Okoye. Okoye steals
Okoye
every
was
scene
great.
for me.
That's I mean, I'm glad they made her one of the Night Sisters or whatever, but I did not like Shuri as Black Panther. I thought his girlfriend would have done a better job and been more believable.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you on that one.
I don't disagree. I do like that the character got the mantle. But if we're talking about, you know, actresses that could portray it better, yeah, I agree. Like the performance by Nakia would have been better.
Shuri, that like I like the part she already had. I don't think she needed to be Black Panther. And they have the heart-shaped herb, and she can just make it. Why ain't everybody like you see Namor's crew? They're all jacked up. They're all
also they can't. Oh, I mean, spoilers for folks. They can't die. They didn't figure out a way to kill those things.
No,
which things?
Like if you're a fish person that apparently reproduce underwater, which I don't know. I'll just leave it wherever.
Pollution.
You can't like. They were getting shot in the face, and they were getting up.
But that one died.
Yeah, one died from like that little stinger blaster.
Yeah.
Why aren't they all stocked with those stinger blasters?
I don't know. I missed that.
Why didn't they all get the heart-shaped herb? There's a lot of why didn't.
Listen,
like,
3D printing takes time.
Yeah, Namor was like on like look, that girl has to die or you all die. And
Josh, I want you to 3D print the Purple Heart.
He gets a little burnt on the back, and he's like, "Whoa! I don't want to play anymore. We can be friends."
He also got his Achilles cut open and his wing ripped off. So I thought that was a pretty badass moment.
Yeah. The wings ripped off.
Through the stomach and still whooped his ass. I'm like, come on. I think Namor would have wiped the floor with her, Black Panther or not.
No, she has the or the Black Panther super soldier serum going. She has the tech suit.
It doesn't put you at like. Okay, so Cap took it and it put him at a level. You know,
he ripped a helicopter out of the sky.
Does it put them all at the same level? So is Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther just as strong as Shuri's Black Panther? Are they same level? Like, does that?
We don't know. I don't know what the synthetic is.
Yeah.
Maybe she's like double Black Panther.
I feel like this is its own. For the sake of just moving on, I feel like this is its own.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
We didn't get to the discussion question.
Yeah.
I'll just take him away for now. We can just talk.
I was like, what happened? Before we move forward, I just want to do some plugs so we can talk about everyone here. If you are new to this channel, welcome. please click like, please click subscribe. We really want to grow our viewer base, but we're all we're asking is just click that button. We really appreciate it. We cannot do this without all of you in terms of everyone in the chat, your support. We feed off of your energy, and throughout this, with our guest, when I introduce them, I want to see a lot of questions because I know all of you have a lot of questions. So, so please do that. No chewing, or do you want to talk about TCP?
Yeah, so Toy Pick Community will host our top 10 on Wednesday again at 9 p.m. And we'll have a new secret hashtag. Let's just also remind people that we had a secret hashtag from last week. We'll reveal it right now. For those that missed it, it is TPC_ABW.
What does that say for you?
All butts wet or always
All
be wet.
butts
I
wet.
don't know which one's better, but
All butts wet.
all butts wet.
We thought alike. We were thinking alike here.
Danny, what about you? I know you got a lot to plug, or some things to plug.
Yeah, Black and Wednesdays. It's Wednesday. It's the third Wednesday of the month. Black and Wednesdays have been great. Everybody's doing no chewing. That shot of that Kingdom Come Superman. You sold me, dude. I almost didn't buy it because I'm not a fan of the head sculpt, but you sold me. Now
Oh, did you buy it?
I am going to order it after the show.
Man, I should have a 5K promo code for that.
I will definitely buy that figure. That figure. I mean, even if I don't like the head sculpt, I can even, see if somebody will custom make one. But I really love that figure. I love that photo. Yeah. So thank
Danny,
you for
what about when I did it a week prior to that?
Oh, I loved yours too.
That
Anything
was
super
cool,
meow.
buddy. You're so
Thanks.
That was really special.
Did you want to buy it? Did you want to buy it too?
You know what? I want to buy anything you guys.
Yeah, buddy. Sure thing.
No, but thank you to everybody that's been supporting Black and Wednesdays with a splash of red. It's been fun. I'm excited for next month. Black and white and green. That's gonna be fun.
Ooh.
I'm expecting a lot of Green Ranger photos. So stay tuned. But other than that,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's pretty much what I would plug, and everybody plugging everybody, everybody love for everybody. The whole toy community, love, just love.
Just love, right? And that's why we have Toy Talk. Toy Talk itself is about how toys bring us all together and how we are such a great community when we're talking about toys in this very specific hobby that we have. But we celebrate it and we come together and we just have fun. Josh, how about you, buddy? Do you have anything to plug?
Unboxing art on Wednesday at 7:30.
State of the art.
If you like looking at me, you can come look at me there too.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
No, for unboxing art, State of the Art, they do a lot of great toy news. Don't let Josh undersell it. They cover the news.
I'm not underselling it. I told them I was there. That should be plenty.
I'll just use more words.
Yeah,
we got a few people in the chat. Machu, we got
Kevin toys. On the Office. He's like, me no talk many words, save time.
We got Andy Obusick. What's up, buddy? Buddy from high school.
Oh, nice.
This span shows our audience is growing. Everyone, our audience is growing. And Jimmy Pop. All right, everyone. Well, hey, our guest has waited in our backstage for a while. I have to say, I'm really excited for our next guest. He works for Diamond Select. He's an employee of Diamond Select, and he's an occasional toy photographer. He's also a former Toy Fair and TWOP Television Without Pity editor. Now, he's a great person in the community. He was actually on State of the Art as well. And I'll tell you, he has some great insight on a major toy company, and I'm really excited to have him here. So let's welcome Zach Oat. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. It's so great to have you here. We're really excited to have you. And thank you so much for when I remember when I DM'd you, you're like, hey, this is great. email me. And I'm like, okay. I just appreciate just you telling me what your main mode of conversation or communication is. So
I'm terrible at social media messaging. I like going on Instagram a lot, but then I won't check the messages for like a week, and I'm just bad at it.
No, good for you.
Email, you can just click that little flag. It'll remind you later.
Yep.
I love that.
Oh, I try to respond to everything as soon as I get it for the most part, unless it's work related, and then I just put it off until whenever. But no, I'm good with email. I'm not so great with the inbox on with the DMs.
Did I get like pretty much? Do you want to just, before we get into our discussion question, just describe what you do for Diamond Select?
Sure. My title is marketing supervisor, which basically means I kind of look over all of the stuff that goes out to consumers, customers, collectors. Not so much the retail side of things, but I kind of have my hand in social media. We have two great women who work on social media for us, but I help them out whenever I can. And I go on the forums. I write all the copy for the catalog. I write all the copy for the back, unless we source it from the company. They have a lot of time they'll have their own text they want us to use, and press releases. And I work with the press, so I send out review samples and press and information about what's shipping that week and what's pre-orders are opening each month. So a lot of different stuff, and it's a lot of different licenses. So it's something different every day.
Oh, that's that sounds really busy.
Yeah,
I made it sound pretty good, right?
Which makes sense of why you're not wasting your time on the DMs.
No, I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I'm always posting stuff there, and I go on TikTok a little bit too much too, but I don't post as much there.
Got it. I don't think. Yeah. Well, many of us have TikTok. I don't think any of us post. So as I was saying, Toy Talk is really just the place where we invite people from the toy community, whether you're a toy photographer, someone that works for a toy company, influencer, and we talk about toys. We talk about why we love toys and why they bring us together and why we celebrate them. So that's one of the reasons why you're on here. We always like to start with some sort of discussion question to get all of our juices running, to get us really used to each other's company. So here's what I'm going to start with. And I didn't share this with some of you guys because I thought of it last minute. Last night during the Super Bowl, there was a trailer that dropped that many of us were waiting for, The Flash. Now, this boasts to be a complete reset for the DCU. First of all, what were your thoughts on the Flash trailer, and how would you reset the DCU in terms of just starting all over?
Wow, that's a big question. I thought the trailer was great. I think it's funny that when we weren't sure if they were gonna release that movie at all due to all the craziness that now he's in it twice. It's like two characters talking to each other the whole time. It's like double that guy.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said to these guys. I was like, the execs knew that when all that stuff with Ezra Miller was happening, they're like, oh crap, he's in the movie like twice as much.
He's like 5 parts.
Yes.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be. I mean, it seems like they're bringing in all that alternate reality stuff, which is great. But which Marvel was starting to dip their toe into as well. From what I'm hearing, this is kind of the last days of the old DC film universe. I mean, this and what's the other movie they're going to be releasing? I forget.
Aquaman 2.
Aquaman 2, right?
And Blue Beetle.
The reset is real, and I love DC Comics. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I read a lot of DC Comics, and I see all the movies when they come out, or at least when they get to when they get to streaming or whatever. But I don't go to the theater very often, wherever. I got 3 kids, so I don't get out of the house very much. But yeah, you know how I would reboot it. I don't know. It's the whole universe was very dour, and I don't know. DC comics seem to be a lot of like, you know, kind of happy, sunny stuff, which not in a bad way. You know, Superman is like, you know, very light and happy, and his even in the movies, his costume is very dark. You know, I think they should start with Reign of the Superman, because that was how I started reading DC comics, when there was like 4 Superman flying around doing stuff.
Oh,
or they should
hot
turn them into
take.
electricity. If they turn them into electricity, then they got me like 3
And split them. So there's 2 Superman, one blue, one red.
one red, one blue. Yeah.
You're
I-
thinking like a true toy company.
Yes, you save on tooling, you know, because you have the one Superman, and you just paint them 2 different colors. That's bing, bang, boom.
Genius.
Yeah, DC is like the one thing that we aren't doing right now. We do a lot of stuff with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
What's the big thing we're working on for them right now? Lord of the Rings is through Warner Brothers. And we're doing a lot of stuff with Adult Swim. But
Okay.
we're hoping to get DC Comics back in the near future. But we had a good run there. We made a lot of really great gallery dioramas and some good resin too. The Batman animated series line was really great. So yeah, hopefully we get back into it.
That's a good. I like. Thanks for. That's a great answer. Reign of Superman. That's how you would start. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty awesome. Josh, how would you restart? What did you think of the Flash trailer, and how would you restart the DCU?
Well, Keaton's Batman was the only reason I even wanted to watch the trailer. I was like, I get it. I get what they're doing.
Did it
Warner
deliver
Brothers
for
already
you?
did that really awesome Flashpoint animated movie.
Yeah.
That was really good. So yeah, I watched the trailer. I liked the trailer. I don't care. Ezra Miller, yeah, he screwed up, but he's playing a character. I can watch the character without putting too much on it, and he's going to be gone, so whatever.
Yeah.
How would I would probably do it. This is what I've been saying, that they should just use the Flash movie to just reset it all. Just start over. Give us, like Zach was saying, like the Superman that we know, you know, like light colors, kind of fluffy, and just Christopher Reeves, basically. So like that, give us a good Batman that's not so based in like super reality. You know, get us back to like, you know, so we can have like Bane.
You don't want Batman that, you know, resides over Chicago?
Huh?
That's not for you?
Not really. I mean, I liked it. I dug it. It was cool for a time, but it's like, okay, now we've had Nolan, and now we have Pattinson.
Yeah. Pattinson.
His Batman. It's like, okay, we have real Batman. It's like, I want to get back to like the Joel Schumacher Batman, like where it's kind of a little campy, you know. That's Batman, you know. And then the characters can be, they don't have to be based in reality. They can be fantastical. So
yes, you're right. They don't have to be based in reality. No chewing. How about yourself?
I you know, the trailer was nice to see Keaton. I liked what I saw with Supergirl. And Zod. That was cool.
Zod, that's right.
I'm one of those people that are just like, oh, I can't get behind this guy, Ezra, without actually seeing some sort of, I don't know. I'm not even sure if he even apologized or admitted, or he's been pretty much silent. So I can't get over watching, or I can't get really behind watching a 2-hour film or 2.5-hour film with him in there twice. And I also felt like there was a lot of CGI in that trailer, and not all of it looked stellar. So I'm probably in this group. I'm probably the least hyped for this movie. I had that feeling. Yeah, I know. How I would reboot it though, because I do love DC, and I agree, Superman should be light. I would actually, at the end of the Flashpoint movie, they open up for a multiverse that they start with just a different reality, and they don't touch multiverse for like another like 10 years, but it leaves a button scene of the Kent farm on like a Sunday morning when the sun's rising, and it's Superboy, and then you start the DCU of him graduating from Superboy to Superman. So leaving Smallville, going to Metropolis, setting up his like first adventure, but keep it light and dynamic for Superman and not Superman in Batman's universe.
Yeah.
And then
So
go
ahead. So Danny talked about this. There is a comic book called Birthright, which kind of sets that up of Superman as if he was born in the modern world. However, that was written like 12 years ago, so it's kind of outdated now, but it was fantastic. Just narrative of Superman now and why he goes out into this new world to try to find himself and become Superman.
And then for Batman, I would say that I agree. I don't need it to be set in Chicago. I don't need the hard leather, jumpsuits. I also don't need them to jump straight to Damian. I would like the story where he, retell it right about how Batman met Robin. I need Dick Grayson to enter the universe so that
we need Dick Grayson.
I need him to eventually graduate to become Nightwing. I don't need Nightwing to just show up in Brave and the Bold when Batman has a kid. Let me tell you what makes a superhero very old for the public. Marriage and children. It's just not, you don't need to go straight there. And then I also like the, I have a lot of faith in what they do with Green Lantern. I think they're going to invest heavily in that. And between, that's something we haven't really seen.
Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart in that show, right?
Yeah. It sounds like buddy cops. So I'm down.
Well, no, they described the Green Lantern as True Detective, but
in space.
Green Lanterns in space.
Yeah, I'm in.
Right?
Space cops.
How about you, Danny? What do you think?
I very much enjoyed the trailer. I kind of knew this was going to happen. I was going to run my mouth and talk about Ezra Miller, how much I couldn't stand him, and then the trailer would drop, and then I would be sold. So I did enjoy the trailer. I still believe that Michael Shannon Zod is the best villain in the DCEU. I think his portrayal of Zod was great. I think his acting was great in Man of Steel. I loved him, so I'm happy to have him back. That's going to be my go-to person in this movie because I love Michael Shannon, and I love Supergirl. She looks awesome. I'm gonna give her. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't change. I think I'm with the direction they're going with. I love the whole like just resetting everything. I just want a good Superman movie. That's all I want. That's what I've been asking for. I want a good Superman movie. It doesn't have to. I think it doesn't have to be like the Christopher Reeve movies, but I wanted to give me like I like those little corny little jokes. Like I remember Superman 3 when he saved the kid in the farm where the machine was gonna, and he was like, and the kid was like, "Oh, can I get another ride?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to charge you next time." Some joke like that. It was corny, but it was such a Superman joke to say. Like I was like, "That's Superman." And I think the guy that plays him, Tyler, the one that plays him on the show, he does a phenomenal job doing that. He brings that. So nothing against Henry Cavill, because I really liked him as well. I think one of my highlights from the trailer, I would say, was Michael Keaton smiling, saying that I'm Batman. That was for us. That was for all the old. Like I felt like he's been everywhere, telling everybody. If you asked him in every interview, he's like, "Who's the best Batman?" He'll say, "I'm the best Batman." And you know what? He's the best freaking Batman because he is. So for him to say that, kind of was like he pulled the Deadpool. He broke the fourth wall and was just looking at us saying, "Yeah, I'm Batman." not the rest. I love that. I love that they did that. Like I said, I'm gonna give the movie a chance. I wouldn't change anything because the animated, from what I read and from what James Gunn was saying, all the shows, animated shows, all the games, everything is connected in some way. So I love that. If there's connected, then I have a good feeling that I hope that everything they start pulling a lot from the animated movies. That's where they're really strong at, the animated movies. So I hope that they pull a lot from that and bring it into the live action scene. So, but again, I'm looking forward to seeing Zod and Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Sam. Well, again, everyone, that was a great rotation of answers for our discussion question today. Thank you so much. Now let's get down to asking Zach the real questions. For all of you in the chat, if you have any questions, please, we're starring them and we're going to get to them eventually to ask Zach. So please, if any come to mind, type them in the chat and we're happy to ask Zach. Zach, we always like to start with our guests to talk about their toy origin. Like, what is your origin story in terms of the toy world?
I was an 80s kid, so I had a lot of G.I. Joe and Transformers. Eventually, like everybody, I got out of toys for a while. And then when I was in college, I got back into them a little bit. I started going to KB and buying all the toys that were artificially marked down, and
yes,
picking up 3 for $10, some fun little things, little 5-inchers. I got a couple of Star Wars 12-inchers, and at the end of college, I was looking for a job at Wizard because I was a big comic reader, and Wizard magazine was my magazine, and
yes.
And they didn't have any openings. But so I went and did something else for summer. I actually worked for a little toy company for the summer, just a really tiny toy company in Rhode Island, not Hasbro. And at the end of the summer, Toy Fair got in touch with me, and I'd read some issues of Toy Fair. But not I hadn't been following regularly. I think they're up to like issue 27 by that point, 25, 27. And they said they needed a copy editor. So I went in, I interviewed. I got a really great vibe from the place. So there were a bunch of young kids there and not the older types that I've been working with. And I took the job, and I was there for about 8 or 9 years. And I was started off as a copy editor, but I worked my way up to editor, and I did a lot of photography there, shooting Twisted Toy Fair Theater and stuff like that. And after that, I took a few years at Television Without Pity doing movie reviews and stuff like that. But then Diamond Select Toys came along, and the rest is history.
How long have you been with them?
I have been with them for going on 12 years.
Got it.
Yeah. I can't believe it myself. It's the longest job I've ever had. I was at Toy Fair was the longest before that, but yeah, no, I'm just flattered that they've kept me around for as long as they have, and hopefully they think I'm still doing a good job.
Got it. Well, there's this one piece that I think a lot of, depending on how old you are when you come onto the show, is returning to toys when you're in college. Now, where did you go to college again?
I went to Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut.
Wesleyan. You know what? I know a friend. Maybe you know him. Who went to Wesleyan. We're gonna do that name game again. But maybe you know what? Maybe I'll just invite him on right now, and maybe recognize him.
Chris McNerney.
Holy cow, Chris!
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you. Not John Abrams, but another Wesleyan guy.
We both had a lot more hair back in college.
We did. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Toy Stories 3. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, he reached out to us before the stream and said, "Hey, I went to college with Zach. Do you think we just okay if I just pop on for a little bit?" And I said, that would be great. Let's surprise our guest. So Toy Stories 3.
Yes.
You're on the clock. You can ask a few questions. You can start our interview with Zach right now.
Sure.
And asking some hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, nothing hard-hitting, but I'm just curious as a dad and as a husband when you find time to do your toy photography, because I always enjoy your shots when you post them. So.
Oh, thank you. I mostly do them in between my 6-year-old going to bed and my 10-year-old going to bed. So 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I'm out on the porch for just a little while and taking a couple quick pictures. I don't do really long, involved setups. I do pretty quick. I play around with lighting and angles, but for the most part, I use a lot of paper backgrounds. I have some diorama pieces that I use, but I'm not out there for hours at a time. I'm out there for maybe a half hour max. I'm just having fun with it. I'm not going crazy. No, it's every now and then I get to shoot something during the day, like for work stuff. I used to, for Disney Store used to have me shoot a lot of their exclusives for
cool.
like, lifestyle shots. Not so much nowadays, but it was I was honored to be asked to do it.
That's awesome. And then maybe what's an upcoming release you're excited about that you can talk about that maybe has already been announced, but just that you're psyched about?
I just approved the packaging for Iceman, Marvel Select, so I'm excited about that. I want to be able to pose him on the ice slide, which we weren't able to do with the prototype just because he's I don't even know what material he's made out of, but he's resin, so he's clear resin. So I imagine he's probably a little bit more fragile than a lot of our prototypes. But I'm looking forward to posing him on the ice slide and seeing how he does. And Apocalypse is going to be coming out any day now. I think it's going to be out by the end of it might be out by the end of the month. So fingers crossed it gets here sooner rather than later.
That's awesome. Well, you have one of my favorite Hulks you guys did. I brought it on just to
excellent.
show off. But yeah, it's good seeing you, Zach. I miss seeing you.
When was the last time you guys saw each other?
I used to see Zach. I used to stalk him at Comic-Con in New York every year. I tried to see his booth and say hi and just catch up briefly. He'd always be swarmed with customers, and I felt like I was kind of in the way. But it's been a couple years because I moved out here almost 2 years now. So.
Oh, where are you now?
I'm in Cali now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm in LA County in the Valley, in San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Miss New York. But maybe I'll finally go to San Diego Comic-Con because I haven't been there yet. So.
All right, yeah, you got to get down to San Diego, and we'll have to hang out.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, it's good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Toy Story.
Yeah, thanks,
really
Chris.
appreciate it.
Great. This is great.
Awesome. All right, let's get everyone else in here. Really wanted to surprise you. I hope you were surprised.
I was very surprised. Thank you very much. Forever.
So we like to go around, and every host likes to ask questions. So I'm going to do something a little different, guys. I'm going to just concentrate on just the guest and the person that's asking the questions, and I'm going to cut all the rest of us out, and then I'm going to introduce you guys again. Okay, where it's something new, but I'm trying something different. Okay, all right. So why don't we go with no chewing?
I didn't even know you could do this on here. So I got a couple questions, and then like 2 questions, and then one just a fanboy one. What is something that you've experienced in your time in toys, both in the that internship, or actually internship, toy fair, working for the publication, and then Diamond Select, that you experienced in your time that you found unexpectedly fun, like you weren't sure about it at first, and then it turned out to be a great time?
Oh gosh. I was nervous, and when I started doing the photography, we had a guy who was there shooting everything. He would come in up from New York City. He was established photographer. He would shoot stuff for HBO, and he would come up. He would shoot our covers, but he would also shoot all of Twisted Toy Fair Theater. He'd be back there all day, and he would just shoot 6 pages worth of photography, and panel by panel. And they eventually realized that they were paying him a lot of money, and digital cameras were a lot more accessible. This was I started in 99, so this is the mid 2000s, and they decided to have everybody shoot everything themselves. So they got some lights, and he would bring his own lights and everything. So they bought some lights, they bought a camera, and they said, okay. I think they even had him train us a little bit, which is crazy. And then I ended up being like the main photographer for Toy Fair for a good few years. By the end, we had some of the other people, Dylan Brucey, Alex Kropanek, coming in from the research department to do a lot of photography. But for a while, it was just me, pretty much. And I was nervous about it at first, but it got to be fun. And yeah, now I do it for fun. Not my lights aren't as great, but it's I never did any photography in school. It was the one art. I was an art major, but I never did any photography because I didn't have a good camera, and I couldn't really afford to get one. So,
but it was different back then. You know, like
Yeah. You know, I mean, I should say I have a digital camera for work, but I shoot pretty much everything I shoot for Instagram on my phone just because it's easier to upload it rather than having to, upload it from the camera to the computer. So yeah, and then, it's like I said, I just do it for fun. So it's the quality isn't maybe as good as other people's shots, but yeah, it turned into a hobby when it was originally just a very scary part of my job.
So what? Oh, there's a couple things here. So you've been in toy photography for like the longest time. You've seen the rise and fall and the ebbs and flows even to the modern day. You know, where there's a ton of us out there now.
Oh yeah,
shooting
everybody's
toys.
shooting toys. Yeah.
Was it always like, like I always look at what I do and what other people do, and it's all like spray bottles and like little fireworks and like basically almost transforming trash into dioramas. Was it always like that, even back during the toy fair days?
We bought a lot of dollhouse furniture and dollhouse, props like picture frames and champagne bottles and things like that. And we would use them for the Migos, the 8-inch scale figures. We used a lot of Barbie stuff too. They drove a Barbie car, Barbie plane, and yeah, we shot on, but again, we shot on pretty much like a photo background, like a sky or buildings or a wrestling ring. We had a wrestling audience that we used. And it wasn't very fancy. We didn't use any smoke machines. I think at one point there was one cover that we actually got some dry ice in to see if we could make it work. I think if you go back through the Toy Fair covers, I'm sure there's at least a couple that had some sort of dry ice effect. They didn't have smoke in a can, I don't think, back then. But yeah, the sets were kind of bootleg. Backgrounds, a flat stretch of like kind of textured green for grass. Some loose shrubbery from Michael's, craft stores.
Oh, people still do that.
Oh yeah, no, that's all I do. I just I use just standard stuff. I only have a couple of really nice dioramas, but they didn't exist back then. If they did, we would have had a really good thing going. They would have been a little too small, but all of the extreme sets and stuff like that. I have a couple of those. I have like a dojo and like a sci-fi set, but those would have been a game changer back in the day. We would have customizers build entire dioramas for us, so that we could have something take place in like an operating room, and we'd have somebody do the wall and the background and the floor and source all of this 1/12, 1/6 scale, like hospital beds, or make the hospital beds out of whatever they could. It was definitely a very different time. The fact that there's so many people making this stuff now is just a testament to the number of people who are doing this in the hobby.
Yeah, people will make it now, teach you how to do it, and ultimately you just need, depending on what you're trying to do. If you do it yourself, less than $100 in materials, you're on your way.
Yeah,
it's incredible. All right, my second question.
Hey, I'm just gonna add us all in, because what I've realized is all of us might have something we want to input, and that's what I'm missing right now. Sorry, keep going.
No, Chris felt lonely. He's like, "Hey, I host the show."
I was like, I could say something right now, but I'm not on. And then I
can't
missed
suppress
Josh's
my A-type personality.
Oh, if anything, I wish I was A-type.
It's a lowercase a. It's okay. And so my second question, unless you guys had anything to connect on to the last one. So, fans are super vocal, overly so at times, but there's some learns behind that. Do you have any experience, or what can you tell me about something you've learned from fans and how what you've learned turned into knowledge that helps shape the business?
We certainly look at a lot of fan input when we're planning certain lines. Marvel Select, we see a lot of people weighing in on what works. There are a lot of people who are very vocal about how we should stick to big guys because that's where our strong point. But I think we make a lot of strong, 7-inch tall guys who aren't big guys.
What do you mean by like Hulk and like big guys like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. There's certain people out there who think we should stick to like Hulk and Abomination and stuff like that.
Got it.
But we're
they
trying
come
to
out
build a line.
beautifully. But...
Yeah, we're trying to
What?
build. Yeah. Oh
What?
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Josh has the
What?
new vision. Up and there, Danny's got the crow.
Dude, this is the best reason.
Invincible. All right.
This
was
awesome.
my very.
Venom. That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
This
Plus
was my very
Bruce
first
Lee.
one.
Oh,
My very
Hawkeye.
first Diamond Select was this 20-something years ago.
Yeah, I still have some figures. That's one of them. The figures that I had from back before I worked for Toy Fair when I was before I worked for Diamond when I was still working for Toy Fair. I still have a bunch of those. I have She-Hulk. I have
so good.
I have all the zombies, the Marvel zombies somewhere.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, those are great. I have Spider-Man somewhere.
Yeah, but it's I forget what we were talking about. It's there was one thing I heard from Lord of the Rings fans that they wanted our wrists to go a different way. So I think when we were they want us to do an up and down tilt so they could do real sword fighting rather than side to side. And it looks like we're going to have that in Series 5 with Boromir.
Nice.
I think we were able to get that to work in. And I'm sure there have been other instances where we've changed stuff, but based on fan feedback. But none are popping into my head right now. But we definitely look to the Marvel Select community when we're choosing what Marvel Selects we want to do. We look at what they've asked about. They've done a couple of polls, and it's definitely a give and take, I think. Between the fans and us.
Yeah. And last question, and it's not going to be a complicated question like the last two I kind of said. Tell me about Tron Legacy. Are you going to make any Tron Legacy figures? Because I'm a big fan.
Oh, God. I hope so. I love Tron Legacy. It sounds like we might get to do some more classic Tron, which I wasn't sure about for a little while, but it sounds like we may get to do some more, which would be awesome. Because, we made the 3 characters and the 1 variant. And there's so many other great characters to do. So hopefully we'll see more of that. And then with the talk of another sequel in the works, that would be really awesome to do. I think that would make figures for Legacy a lot more realistic.
Yeah, and the Disney attraction is about to open at Magic Kingdom, so the ride's got a lot of people hyped up.
That's great.
Which is also what hyped me up for the series.
Excellent. I don't follow the theme park news, so I didn't know, but now I gotta look into it and see what.
Oh yeah, you get to ride a light cycle and race against the yellow team.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I now I want to go to there. But
my favorite thing about it's like the nerdiest thing, and I love the little details that Disney always prevails.
I still have right here in my office Tron Legacy. I think it's on. Is it on? I don't think it's on. It's got a switch on it.
Oh, there it is.
That's a cool one.
Cool. I can't get the light to go on. But it's one of the ones with a talking face feature from Tron Legacy. I love these things. But yeah, I keep it in my office because I'm a big fan of the movie. I got to review it when I was working for Television Without Pity, so that was pretty cool. Going to see it on a really big screen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Remember, I had that car, the car with like the light up wheels and stuff that the chick drove. I had that.
Oh, that's
cool.
They
had a lot of vehicles. They had the carrying case with the big recognizer carrying case.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point, we were going to do a recognizer, like build a figure with the Tron figures, but I don't think we were able to make it work cost wise. But maybe sometime in the future.
Cool.
Danny, how about you, buddy?
Well, I'm just gonna jump into it. First question.
Oh, here we go.
Right. First question. Let me pull out my notes here. All right. Well, my first question is, what is a dream line of figures that you would love to do, or even be a part of? Like, if it's something that you guys don't have licenses to, or what would be that dream line of figures that you would want?
Oh gosh. Well, besides Tron Legacy, it would be probably I would want to be somehow involved in the relaunch of Cops and Crooks from Hasbro.
Nice.
It was not one of my favorite toy lines as a kid. I don't think I had a single one, but I watched the cartoon all the time when it was on TV. But I think that was maybe around the time I was getting out of toys. And but I discovered the toy line later in life, and I fell in love with it. And it's I think it's one of the best toy lines ever done. It had a lot of good articulation before, at that larger scale, like G.I. Joe Real American Hero scale type articulation, but at a 5 or 6 inch scale. And it was just really well done. There were a lot of great visually interesting characters. One of my favorite things I did at Toy Fair was getting to interview Bart Sears, who did a lot of the artwork for it. I'm forgetting his name, but there's another guy who did a lot of the illustrations and a lot of the design work. I just love to see it done really well, like they're doing with G.I. Joe Classified. Really articulated, a lot of great accessories, and I love the G.I. Joe Classified line. If I had more money, I would collect more of the G.I. Joe. I'd collect all the Transformers Legacy classic type characters. But the DST stuff keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Second question is, would you guys ever revisit the Universal Monsters line that you guys had back then? I remember the Dracula came with like a wolf.
Yeah, at one point,
really
I think, cool. Yeah, there was some talk about going back to Universal Monsters at one point, but I don't know. NECA's knocking it out of the park right now. They're doing a really great job, so kudos to them.
Plus
really
you got Jada and NECA doing it. So
well, even like not just Universal Monsters, like for a horror fan such as myself, like would you guys ever because I know you guys have I love the Nightmare Before Christmas line that you guys have. I love that line. And I'm regret so much not buying the Oogie Boogie at New York Comic Con. I regret not buying that figure. I really wanted it. But would you guys be like, at some point, did you guys ever talk about like maybe expanding that or even getting into like maybe, because I know you guys do a lot of like old school, like old movies and stuff like that, which is gonna that's a good segue into my last question. But you guys, planning into like getting into like any of like the horror films or anything like that?
I don't think we have any horror stuff in the works, but we are talking about doing another wave of Nightmare Before Christmas. For a while, it was we were doing some stuff behind the scenes, but there are characters that we want to do that have not been done ever, and we'll have to see when that happens. But I think it should be in talks now. So hopefully we'll get to see some more characters in that lineup. As far as other horror movies, like classic horror movies, it's tough. We try to do Universal Monsters would have been great to go back to, but I think it's kind of you're right. There is a lot of people in that area right now, but we try to focus on stuff that has some sort of modern or current incarnation going on. So just looking at classic movies in general is tough, but we are going to look at some movies that have had that were around in like the maybe the late 90s and revisit some of them. But I don't know going back much farther than that. That'd be besides Tron, of course, but and we did Black Hole, which was very cool. We might do some more Black Hole too. We're looking into that. No horror. I'm not a huge horror buff. I like the character designs, but I a lot of the classic movies I haven't seen, and modern horror is just too scary for me, honestly. It would be a really great field to play in, but I think right now we're not doing it. I'd love to get some Marx Brothers action figures. Nobody's done Marx Brothers. I want Marx Brothers. I want some good Laurel. Somebody made some Laurel and Hardy action figures back in the day, but I'd love to see some really good ones done.
Well, it makes me happy to know that you guys are going back to doing characters, because I want for the Nightmare Before Christmas, I want the trick or treaters with the 3 trick or treaters. I would love that line like that. Those are ones that I would buy instantly.
Oh, excellent! You mean Lock, Shock, and Barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did them. We did them as a deluxe select figure with the bathtub. And
I
then we
didn't see
re-released them solo in the best of line, so you can definitely get them out there.
I've never known that. Wow.
Yeah, we've made almost everybody except for like some like background characters, but we want to make the background characters too. I think there's a couple characters we made that even NECA didn't get to.
Okay.
And NECA did a great job with their line, but I think
Yeah.
we've even hit a couple that they did,
Yeah.
which is we've gone pretty deep. I think we did 10 series, but we're thinking about 11. So.
All right, and then last question. You guys have the JCVD line coming with
Yes.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
I'm a big Van Damme fan. I've always
Me
been.
too.
But Bloodsport is like my movie. I just bought the record, the vinyl record.
Oh,
the
excellent.
Waxwork. Yeah, so I know you guys have the figure coming out, and I believe is that the kickboxer figure?
Our figures are based on his life, not necessarily specific movies, but I believe you should be able to build put together a kickboxer figure. I think we're gonna have interchangeable hands, bandage hands, and bare hands, so you'd be able to use different hands with that figure, and we have the interchangeable head as well. Angry and regular. So we're going to do a couple different versions of the figure in a couple different outfits from his various appearances over the years. But none of them are specifically going to be. They're going to be all branded JCVD World, not specifically based.
Universal Soldier, right?
Oh yeah, I'd love to do it. Yeah, that was just what time in his life when he was wearing camo and had like some wires coming out of his head. You know, just just something he did.
The 90s. The 90s.
Yes,
it
was the 90s.
I would have loved to see a Bolo 7-inch figure.
Yes,
I would have loved it.
That was my question.
That's not out of the question. Like getting doing some of the supporting characters. Those would be different licenses, of course, but those are not out of the question.
Okay, that gives me hope. Thank you. Those are my questions.
Oh, excellent. Thank you for them.
Josh, what about let's go to, we have a lot of questions in the chat, all of you guys.
Well, I have a couple of personal questions.
Go ahead. Start with those.
You said you guys are working with Adult Swim, right?
We just announced the Rick and Morty gallery, and I think we've got some other stuff in the works. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be the next thing to be offered, but Rick and Morty's Adult Swim, right? They're on the
that's the line I want, but I need them in posable figure.
Yeah, I know. No, it'd be great to do action figures for them. I don't think that's in the cards right now, but we'll have to see. We're just starting out with the license, so.
Oh, could you imagine build out an army for Mr. Me6?
Yeah,
incredible.
Also made some like 5-inch ones that were they were okay, but some nice ones would be good. And then I just wanted to say I love like all like you guys do all my favorite movies. So like Rocketeer, The Crow, all the movies. You got John Claude coming out. I can't wait to see what else we get. Like maybe a Big Trouble Little China figures would be cool.
That would be certainly awesome.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do some more.
The Universal Soldier.
Yeah. I think we're going to do some more John Wick too. So
nice.
Cool.
I love my John Wick. Like that thing is like it blows the Mezco one out of the water. That Mezco one was such shit. And then this one is awesome.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
He's
I
like,
love it.
What the hell, man?
I do love it.
And then like my Crow, I bought the Crow, the same one Danny held up, and I put a soft goods trench coat on him, and it looks great. Like
you fooled everyone. We all thought it was Mezco. It was easy. It was incredible.
No, it's I like that figure too. I like the movie, and I like Rocketeer too. So they've aside from Black Hole not being a movie I really got into as a kid. Most of the stuff we do is stuff that's right up my alley too. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. We did Expendables, which was a lot of fun. A lot of great action movies, and we're gonna do some more really cool action movies. Not necessarily as action figures, but we're gonna do some gallery dioramas, and we'll see how it goes from there.
The Running Man with Arnold.
That would be awesome. That would be really awesome.
Can we do a Commando with Arnold? Him feeding the deer. Feeding the deer
No,
specifically.
no.
Feeding the deer specifically. Eating ice
Holding
cream
the
with his
big-
daughter.
Holding the big old tree trunk on his arm. He
Yeah.
used to do that.
The tree.
The
Red
Arnold.
Heat.
Do you want to go to the questions or?
Yeah, let's go to the questions. There's
No,
so
let's
many questions.
let's keep talking about Arnold.
The Arnold series where it's about his life. Governor Arnold.
All right, so you got across the toy
Oh my god, that'd be
multiverse.
awesome.
He just says that he loves the Batman animated series line. I'm guessing he's talking about the statues and the stuff like that. And then we got too much new toys. He wants to know, do you guys have any TMT figures?
We're doing 2 different TMNT lines right now. We've got the gallery dioramas, which are not posable, but they're really cool. We're doing a Last Ronin, and we're doing a series of 4 that'll all fit together to form a rooftop scene. And but we're doing mini mates, which may not be up everybody's alley, but they're very posable. There's a lot of great toy photography out there of mini mates. Just really some amazing stuff. Mini Mate Masterworks, check them out. Endo Toys does a lot of it, we're just launching the series of 5 packs of the TMNT mini mates of the classic cartoon, which we tried to do a while back and we weren't able to get interest in an assortment. So we're offering them as a 5-pack, and each set will have 1 or 2 turtles in it, and they're all based on different vehicles from the cartoon. So if you haven't checked them out, mini mates are a lot of fun. 14 points of articulation, and they're 2 inches tall. So you can collect a lot of them, and they don't take up a lot of space.
It's like posable Legos, man.
Yes.
Really cool.
Yes. They do the things that Lego figures do in the cartoons that they can't do for real, in real life. But mini mates can do them. They're very dynamic, and they're fully interchangeable, so you can swap stuff out, and they usually come with some interchangeable parts, 1 or 2.
That's definitely one thing I appreciate about Diamond Select as a company itself. It's not just one. It's not like your 7-inch figures. There is that line, but you have all these other different properties that anyone could really enjoy. And you don't. People who love the 7-inch figures don't necessarily need love the mini mates, but people who love the mini mates don't go to the 7-inch figures, and vice versa. Everything.
Every now and then I meet somebody who does both, but it is rare.
And they don't cannibalize each other, I guess.
They're very different audiences, but I will say them as much as the the action figure collectors can be very passionate and about their collecting needs and wants. The Minimates collectors are a really great bunch of people. There's a forum called the Minimate Multiverse, and I go there all the time because they're just a great bunch of guys.
I'm gonna have to look into all these Minimate.
I know. I was just
I shoot Lego, and I agree. Like, I'm in bread and butter is like 6-inch figures and photography of those, but I'm also part of a couple of Lego groups, a couple of Discords, and
if you want to try them out, let me know,
really
man.
fun.
I'll send you some Minimates. You can give them a shot.
Yeah, I would love that. The one that has been sitting in my car and big bed for a while was the Power Ranger movie set. That one came out amazing.
Yeah, no, it's I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan, but they're really great. And the series 1 is has more accessories than the movie set did, and series 1 is TV based, and series 2 is going to be coming out pretty soon, and that's got the rest of the team. So.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be a really cool set when it's finished.
Awesome.
All right, so we got Midnight Stars custom action figures. He wants to know if there's any ongoing projects we can know of, any particular character hitting the sculpt soon.
Gosh.
We talked about Iceman.
Iceman is sculpted and probably must be at the factory if we're designing the packaging for him. So he's going to be coming out probably spring, maybe early summer. And we've shown a bunch of them. I think the Skrull is going to be coming soon. Super Skrull, the Illuminati Skrull.
He looks good.
And then Blade, we just did his packaging, I think. So he's going to be summer. Mr. Fantastic. They're going to be coming up. And then we're going to be soliciting a new comic-based Marvel Select on Friday. So keep an eye out for that.
Oh, nice.
And we've got a bunch in the works, including another couple of armored characters, which will be really cool. So, and we do have some. We're still doing MCU. A lot of people have been wondering if we're done with MCU, but we are still doing some MCU. Not as many, obviously, as we're still, seeing what what movies resonate and which ones we want to do more figures for.
That's pretty smart right there, because some of them don't hit at all.
It's they're definitely entering a very interesting phase of the MCU. I'm enjoying everything that they're doing. And I'm hoping it builds to something as cool as Endgame was. I'm excited for the new Avengers movies. I'm excited for the new Captain America movies. I think we'll eventually get ramped back up with MCU stuff, but we've definitely got a couple in the works.
Nice. Okay, then we got Across the Toy Multiverse again. Are or would they be continuing the Batman animated series line?
The Bust line, no. Right now, we're not really doing any DC. The Bust line is definitely was definitely very popular. I think there were certainly other characters we could have done, but we're done with that line for now. The 6-inch animated style busts, and we did a couple of the Legends in 3D busts, the half scale ones as well. It'd be great to do more. Maybe when we start doing DC stuff again, we can revisit that line, because there definitely were some great characters that we didn't do.
We got Mike X wants to know: did you work with Ryan Penagos? Or
yes, Agent M himself, the one of the faces of Marvel. He and I worked together at Wizard magazine. I mean, I was at Toy Fair and he was at Wizard, but yeah, we worked together for a long time. We're still good friends.
Well, there you go. All right, Too Much New Toys. What would you say is the best way to get into the toy business like you did? And is it still possible in that way?
That's a great question.
Working for a toy magazine is not really happening much nowadays. There's a couple, cool magazines out there. Toy Collector and Toy Robot, both really great magazines. And I'm sure there's more as well. I think the guys who do Plaid Stallions has a magazine as well. Yeah, it's I've been very lucky with all the jobs that I've looked into. So, writing about toys, if you want to write about toys for a living, write about toys. And maybe, if you run your own site and, do your own reviews and write about stuff, then maybe you might get a job writing for a toy company. They're always looking for marketing people. Marketing degree, a lot of the bigger ones will want you to have a marketing degree probably. But if you want to get into product development, nowadays, if you don't go to an art school that has a toy development program, like RISD or FIT, then teach yourself. Learn to make your own toys. There's a lot of people making toys out there now, and some of them are just castings. They make a silicone mold and they cast their own toys and they design their own packaging and stuff like that. I don't know, if those people are necessarily flocking to companies, but a lot of people starting their own companies out there and doing their own thing. So, but if you want to work for a big company, then you usually have to have a degree to back it up. And I was very lucky to get the job that I have.
Heck yeah. Okay. Too Much New Toys again. How far ahead of release are you aware of the toys and what's coming down the pipeline? And is it hard to keep them a secret?
Yes. Even now, I want to tell you guys everything that we're working on. But Marvel Select in particular, I help come up with some of the characters that we're working on based on what I see on the forums and on polls and things like that. So I weigh in on that, and so I've seen what we're working on for 2024, which is very cool stuff. I learn about licenses, well in advance. I don't necessarily know everything that we're going to eventually work on for them, as far as like whether we're going to do action figures or mini mates or anything like that. But I know when we get licenses, and there's at least 2 licenses now that we haven't announced. I think we're going to announce them at our toy showcase, which is going to happen in March, I think. We're going to do sort of a fan con sort of thing. I don't think we got a final name for the whole thing yet. But
is that going to be in person?
It's going to be digital. We're going to release a bunch of videos of like Toy Fair presentation videos on YouTube, our YouTube, and which is at Collect DST if you don't follow it. And so we'll run down a lot of the new stuff. Hopefully we'll show off a couple new things. We'll interview some of the artists behind the stuff. And it'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully you'll see about at least 2 of the new licenses that we have there.
You can just call it Diamonds Are Forever.
DST savings time.
There you go.
I forget what we ended up coming up with. We've been calling the presentation showcase, but we're going to institute this fan segment this year, and I think we're still batting around names for it.
Nice. I think it's cool you're going to highlight like the artists and the sculptors and stuff like that. It's really neat.
Oh yeah, no, it's I try to, at least once a year we try to do something where we interview them, and we don't necessarily have the time to do it every month, but we try to credit our artists where the credit is due. And like I talked to Scotty Young. I interviewed Scotty Young a year or 2 back about his the animated style statues that we do based on his artwork. And I think the last virtual San Diego we did, I interviewed some of our team members. But it's we got some really talented people working for us from all over the world.
That's awesome. Any thoughts of ever doing something like Toy Fair Magazine as an online publication someday?
At one point, I think I might have thought about it. But working for a toy company, it's hard for me to do something like that. But I do. I try to keep a little bit of Toy Fair alive by shooting big shots, which are our 1-panel jokes that we used to have back in the price guide. I try to do those on a semi-regular basis over on my Instagram, just because they're a lot of fun to do. I don't have the benefit of circulating a clipboard around the office and getting the funniest ones, so I only have my own lame jokes to draw on. But they're fun to do, and I've often thought about putting together some sort of book about toy photography, or even about even a book of big shots would be awesome. But again, I'd have to rely on my own sense of humor, which is not universal.
All right, and then we got one from Toying Around 77. He's wondering why Gandalf was sculpted so he couldn't hold his staff correctly.
I guess it was just
is that a common complaint that you hear?
I think I mentioned earlier that people were concerned about the hand rotation and stuff like that, so we ended up doing vertical instead of horizontal. Gandalf with robed characters, it's tricky, and if he'd had the rocker or the wrist that rocked up, maybe he would have been able to hold it a little bit better. He can hold the staff. I've taken a lot of pictures of him holding the staff and made it look pretty good. But
put some putty in that hand. Let's put some putty in the hand, and it sticks right in there perfectly.
He can definitely grab onto it. But yeah, no, the robes get in the way. We had the similar problem with the Nazgul. He's got a big hanging sleeve. They both have big hanging sleeves, and it can be hard to get the stuff into their grip. But we are taking feedback from people, and we're trying to make them better going forward.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. It's still a great figure. It's got a really great likeness, I think.
Yeah, he looks great. I think what Brandon Path the Collector, he shot Gandalf a few times, and it looks great. Same with the Gollum. The Gollum looks really
beautiful.
Yeah, Path does a great job.
Yeah.
But is there any plans in the future to address the weak knees issue regarding the Marvel figure Titanium Man? Thank you.
No plans in the future, but I have not heard any problems with the knees for
Yeah,
Titanium.
mine
Man.
seemed to be fine on the one I had.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with mine. So if you have a problem with a Titanium Man with weak knees, definitely, tell somebody, because I didn't know anything about it.
You can hit
maybe
up the
somebody-
Instagram itself, the Diamond Select Instagram. They're usually good about just orders and that stuff as well.
Yeah, we do have a customer service line. So I mean, if it's real bad, then you could always check with customer service and see if they have any recall samples. Web customer service at diamondselecttoys.com.
Okay. All right, we got one from Skydro Walker, big G.I. Joe fan. He wants to know, would Diamond ever consider bringing back G.I. Joe head bust statues?
I know we
you
did a short line. Well, I don't know how short it was. I forget how many characters we made, but of 1/7 scale busts. I don't think we're going to go back to that anytime soon. We are doing the gallery dioramas, which are really cool, and we're doing half-scale busts, the Legends in 3D. So we just put out Destro and Prophet Director Destro. Storm Shadow is out. He's really cool. And then the next one is Snake Eyes. And then I think we've got a Cobra Commander in the works, I'm pretty sure. So definitely check that line out if you haven't. They're a little bit more expensive than the 1/7 scales. But they're still really nice pieces. And if you're looking for something in the same price range as those used to be in, definitely check out the gallery dioramas because they're really nice too. Baroness just came out and she's awesome.
Yeah, Art was showing me that half scale, the Destro or whatever. That one was really cool.
Yeah, so it's a really nice piece. Yeah, Storm Shadow's got crazy detail on his back.
Yeah. Well, and then like the Storm Shadow is on the katana or something like that.
Yeah, the base is like a hilt of a sword with I think with the Arashikage symbol on it, and Destro's on his wrist rocket launchers, and they do a really great job designing the bases for those things.
Go check those out, Skydro. And then we
Joe Allard does his own work.
Carlos Burin. Which Marvel characters would you want to see made next?
Oh gosh, can I say Fight Man? he had a one shot and then he came back for a little while. But Fight Man, I love that issue that was illustrated by Evan Dorkin back in the day. He's just awesome. He's a big cape guy and just punches things. And it says "Here to Hit" on his chest. He's kind of expanded universe though. I don't know if he's actually in universe, but I'd love to see more Iron Man villains. I'm a big fan of Iron Man, so. Like Blizzard and Blacklash. Who's that?
Namor. Maybe?
Yes, Namor. I'd like to see a classic Namor. Honestly, I don't know if we've got one in the pipeline. It's not on the latest list I've seen that I know of, but classic Namor in the black vest and black pants, I think would be really cool.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
I don't know if I want him in the green trunks, but I mean it could be.
Yeah. Cool. We got Skydro. He wants to know: is there a Time Cop Van Damme figure on the list?
Again, we are not doing specific films. We're doing more images from his career. So I don't know if we would do something as film specific as Time Cop, but that would be really cool. Honestly, of all the JCVD movies, I think that's the one that I have not seen in the longest time. So
yes,
despite being a big Mia Sara fan from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I don't think I've seen it in a very long time.
I say buy the figure and customize it. Make it whatever you want it to be. Like me, I'm gonna as soon as I get the figure, it's gonna be my Frank Dukes definitive Jean-Claude Van Damme figure. So I'm excited.
I had a question. Are you guys planning on doing the VHSs still, or?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, the VHSs are very popular. I've got them all over my office because I love them. I got the Dwick, I got the Lee, I got the Cobra Kais, I got the Rocketeer over here. But when we get around to JCVD, releases, I'm sure that a VHS case would not be far off from that. So
Okay,
hopefully
cool.
you'll see a VHS in the future. We are doing some other VHSs that I think are definitely happening. I'm not sure where they're going to be released, but there are more VHSs in the works.
Nice.
I just like putting them on the shelf. It looks like I have a
Mhm.
collection of these movies. So
They're beautiful. They are beautiful.
yeah. Okay, and then too much new toys. There's a lot of toy leaks early on, overseas stores like AliExpress. Any input on how that happens? And is this legit product meant to be sold overseas, or is this supply chain leaks or something illegal?
I don't know. I know some of the Disney Store exclusives will leak in advance. And I don't know if it's because of samples getting out there from overseas divisions of say the Disney Store or from the factory. But it's unfortunate. We try to most of the stuff we release we solicit like 6 months in advance, so it doesn't happen a lot in terms of reveals with us. Um, but it's certainly unfortunate. There may very well may be some unintended. They're most usually they're definitely if you see something first on AliExpress and it's not intentional.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that we would release something to the international market before the U.S. market on purpose. Usually it's the same time. But that said, the international markets are a little closer to the factory, so they may get some of their products earlier. But yeah, it's hard to say. It could be a lot of different factors.
Yeah, and I think all the companies are running into the same problem. So
Yeah, no, we see it all the time with the other companies, but it's definitely a little more rare with ours just because of how we do things.
yeah, definitely. You always see, was it Hasbro and McFarlane? They're always found in like Taipei or some shit months earlier. So, all right. And Skydro wants to know: is a GI Joe Mini Mates troop builder for Cobra in the pipeline? Maybe a Trooper, Bat, Viper, Crimson Guard.
That would be awesome. I don't know what we're doing. We've got 2 more waves of GI Joe and Cobra guys planned. I'm not sure when they're going to be offered or what the packaging is going to look like. We've been doing the carded figures. We've been getting a great response to them, but I'm not sure how they're going to be released. But we have 4 more Joes, 4 more Cobras, and we're talking about exclusives to see what we can do there. So I'd love to see a Cobra Trooper box set. It'd be really cool. I'm not sure when that might happen, but we're talking about San Diego exclusives right now, and New York is not long after. So it's very possible.
And I had a question for you, Zach. Have you picked up any figures for yourself lately that you just like really liked and was like awesome? Or
yeah, the only real I got a couple things. One, I got this, which is the Cops and Crooks vinyl figure set, which is not posable, but it's still awesome. Just because I love Cops and Crooks. The other thing I've been getting is the AEW figures.
Oh, really?
I like AEW. I've been watching a lot of AEW just because we're going to be doing a lot of AEW stuff. But I've been because I've gotten into it so much, I've picked up a couple of the extras. So I like the female division of AEW. So I've got Britt Baker, I've got Riho, I've got Hikaru Shida. I've met a bunch of them at San Diego last year and then at New York. I need to get a Jungle Boy next because he's a really nice guy. Yeah, I think that's more or less it in terms of what I was getting. I've bought a couple of GI Joe classifieds, but not too many. But they're cool too.
I've noticed those AEW figures, like the head sculpts on those things, are really good.
Yeah, they do some really good head sculpts. They're getting better with every wave. So
yeah,
I think they do a really great job over at was it Jazzwares?
You guys were also giving away at New York Comic Con. You guys were giving away they were like the blank black mini mates with the AEW logo on the chest or something like that? Do you? Yeah, there you go. I have one of those. I have one of those. Those
Yeah.
are dope.
Yeah, these are fun. Again, mini mates. We hand them out at shows so people can see how much fun they are. But they just they're so posable, and they do so much fun stuff. And yeah, we gave this away just to promote our AEW line of mini mates. The first box set is going to be coming out, I think, end of the month, maybe early next month. CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Britt Baker, and Kenny Omega.
Nice.
And we solicited the next 2-pack as well, which is the Young Bucks.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and we're going to do some big special set coming up. That should be very cool. And we've got another 4-pack in the works, another 2-pack. It's a very cool line, and hopefully it's gets some legs, and we can keep it going forever.
One last question for me, and then I want to go into rapid fire questions. But you live and breathe toys, basically, and I see that your hobby is just dabbling in toy photography. Like, do you ever feel like you're just like, I'm asking this, do you ever feel like you just need to escape and do something just entirely different?
Yeah, I mean, I read comics and I watch a lot of movies, movies that will never have toys. I just watched The Menu last night, which is
was that good?
Yeah, The Menu's great.
Every
Saturday I get together with a bunch of the old Wizard and Toy Fair guys, and we watch bad movies that we can talk about on Amazon Prime Party. And we just watched The Barbarians, which is ridiculous. And
have you seen No Retreat, No Surrender?
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
That is terrible, and you should watch it.
I will. I'm going to suggest it next time. I got to see if it's on Amazon for Amazon.
No Retreat, No Surrender.
No Retreat, No Surrender. I've heard of it.
Critically acclaimed movie Gold with Zac Efron. That movie's like Oscar worthy.
That one's bad. Yeah, that one's bad for a different reason. Like No Retreat, No Surrender, you can at least laugh. There's nothing to laugh at in Gold.
Yeah, it's got to be fun, We watched Morbius a couple weeks ago, and it's very serious. It's a very serious movie, and it's not really, you can't really have a lot of fun with it, making fun of it or anything like that. It's just very serious, and it's not even all that bad. It's not Morbius is one of my favorite Marvel characters, but the movie was okay.
Oscar worthy.
Yeah. A lot of fans of that movie.
Just going back for that really bad movie, No Retreat, No Surrender. There's a Riff Raff version where it's the guys from Mystery Science 3000. They do Riff Raff, I think it's called Riff Raff. So they comment on it, and it's really funny.
Yeah,
Riff Tracks.
It's very what we do is very much Mystery Science Theater 1000 adjacent.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, but we have to type it all. We have to type it all.
Oh no! I highly suggest that one. All right. Well, so Zach, thanks so much for hanging in with us. There were so many great questions in the chat. People in the chat, thank you so much. You are a person that loves toys. I can tell from loves toys, works with toys, and your entire life is around toys. And it's really kind of nice to see how you talk about toys in a very appreciative way, in a very professional way. This next segment we like to call rapid fire. So basically you have 10 seconds to answer these questions. Some of them you've already answered before, but they're kind of lighthearted and fun questions. Are you ready, Zach?
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
All right. Favorite toy line?
Currently, I got 10 seconds. Mini mates. I love mini mates. I love everything having to do with mini mates. I'll call them one line just for the purposes of this question.
Favorite toy?
This action figure of me as Iron Man that I was given when I left Toy Fair magazine.
Oh my gosh!
I had a little bit more hair then, not too much more hair, but yeah, I think this was made by I don't think this was a Matt Cawley piece, but it might have been. I don't think it was Iron Cow, but somebody did this one for me.
Looks better than the selfie series.
Saltwater or freshwater?
Oh gosh, freshwater. I live pretty close to a very nice lake, and but I grew up by the ocean, so it's a tough one. It's a tough toss up. Let's say freshwater for now.
Freshwater is where it's at. Superpower.
I don't know. Everybody says flight or invisibility, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But also everyone says that first.
But strength is not one that people bring up a lot. But I think with strength, you'd be able to help a lot of people, and not necessarily with flight or invisibility. I think strength would be a good one to have.
So yeah, I would pick strength as well.
I'd pick super speed. Imagine all the things you could get done.
Super speed is good, yeah.
So productive.
What makes you feel old?
Gosh, 90s nostalgia, I guess, or 2000s nostalgia at this point.
Yeah.
Because even by the 90s, I was 13 in 1990, so I a lot of all this love for Power Rangers, and even Ninja Turtles was a little bit after my time. My brother was really into Ninja Turtles. I wasn't really so much. I had a couple of them. But no, it's definitely nostalgia for things that I was not into because I was too old for them.
Oh yeah. What makes you feel young?
I don't know. Coaching kids soccer, which is what I do in the fall and in the spring. When you're coaching a bunch of 10-year-olds, I mean, you do feel old, but you also are having a lot of fun with a bunch of 10-year-olds playing soccer and running around. And sometimes I'll get in and I'll play soccer with them. And, it's just it's a good time.
Yeah. I coach my daughter's softball team.
Excellent.
It is fun, yes. And then some days it is a drag. Favorite Diamond Select fig?
Oh, the Rocketeer is pretty great. And the Crow is pretty good too. But gosh, I probably have to say the Silver Centurion Iron Man is one of the best we've done. It's just a really nice piece. Got the interchangeable heads, a few interchangeable heads, interchangeable hands, energy effects. I heard someone say that it was like yep, there you go. I heard someone describe it as good as an import figure, which is which is high praise, especially since those run like $80-$90 and ours are.
He looks great.
It's a really great figure.
That's awesome. And then last question, if you had to give someone who does not collect toys a gift, what toy would you give them?
My brother-in-law is named Johnny Lawrence. And
really? Like real name?
Johnny Lawrence is his name. And he does not collect toys. And I gave him a Johnny Lawrence action figure. But I mean, if he wasn't
like Johnny Lawrence?
Does
he look like Johnny Lawrence?
A little bit. But even if he wasn't named Johnny Lawrence, he's a fan of Cobra Kai, and a lot of people are fans of Cobra Kai. And so I would give somebody a Cobra Kai figure just because it hits you whether you watch Cobra Kai or whether you grew up with Karate Kid.
Yeah.
We just put out a 2-pack of Johnny and Daniel in their like classic gis. So Daniel's got the yellow trim. It's a box set, the All Valley 2-time winners box set, and it's a really nice set. And again, it's very very Karate Kid feels, and I think a lot of people like that movie and that show and those characters. So I'd probably do something like that. And that's just one specific case where I actually did do that. Very specific case.
That's wow. I'm glad you pulled that gem out. That's pretty nice. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, Zach. Really, I know you're a busy person. Really appreciate it. And I know you had like a meeting right before this, so I appreciate you just coming on after that, and I'm sure it's a long day. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us and asking questions. Zach, what do you want to plug before we go?
Oh, sure. We're at Collect DST on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. But you can follow them. You can follow me. I'm at Zach Oat on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, but I don't really post there very much. I have a YouTube channel, but it hasn't been updated since back in the day when I wrote Pop Sculpture, which is the book I co-wrote with Tim Bruckner and Ruben Procopio about sculpting action figures. It's still out there, but it's been a while since it was published. But you might still be able to find it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely follow Collect DST because we're going to be announcing that Marvel Select figure later this week. You can sign up for text messages. Yeah, we do text messages too for our news.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, I think all of us are fans of Diamond Select. Diamond Select got me back into collecting when I stopped for a while. Again, this is a 23-year-old figure or something like that. I remember it was either freshman year or senior year of high school.
And that's also Toy Father's answer for what makes you feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I look at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
it's the 21st year of Marvel Select figures. 21st year. So that was one of the first ones we did back when we were just doing ultimate characters. 21 years ago was that. And Mini-Mates have been around for 21 years as well. The Marvel line alone, just the Marvel Mini-Mates have been around for 20 years. So that makes me feel pretty old. Too.
That long. Wow.
Yeah.
For Mini-Mates? Oh, wow.
Yeah. 2002, they started doing the big ones, the 3-inch ones. And then 2003, they launched the Marvel line, which was 2 inches tall. And they've been 2 inches tall ever since.
I'm totally looking up Mini-Mates on Amazon after this. All right. Again, thanks a lot, Zach. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much. Next week, we have a very special guest. D Amazing is going to be on our show next week. We're really excited. He takes amazing photography. Obviously, he's one of the biggest ones in the game, so we're really excited to have him. Join us again next week for another episode of Toy Talk. And that's it. See y'all later.
Good night, all.